Why?
Oh,
Hold up.
you know why. You know why.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
It's bad enough that we have to hear you, but nobody wants to see you. Let's be honest. The custodian does not need to be seen at work.
I'm not sure why you have even this countdown. Why do you keep on bringing up this thing on the left?
It's called suspense, my friend. All right.
There's no suspense.
That's right. Now we transition. There we go. Now we bring you up. Hey, everyone. Huh?
Hey, everyone.
How do you like that? We're live here again on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You know who I am. I am your board certified fantasy football and all sports guru, right alongside his partner. His name
And
is.
now current and proud 49ers super fan, Daryl Izzard.
Excuse me?
Really happy to have you on board, sir.
Excuse me? I think we might need to relax, sir, and watch and talk to me nice.
I've never had so many updates on the San Francisco 49ers as I've had. Like the last month. It's been fantastic. I just hope you've been updating Susie and Alistair and Gurinder and Jamie and the rest of the Empire because your stick-to-itiveness has been impressive.
Look, we haven't been here in a while, but nobody wants to hear your mouth right now. There's
They-
just because Debo Samuels was hanging out.
So here we go.
Excuse me?
Let's
I
update
thought we were
the
talking
people. Let's update the
super
people
fan.
on the bet.
I thought we were talking super fan.
What's the bet? What's the bet?
Debo Samuels was out hanging with
What's the bet,
CeeDee
though?
Lamb, with Micah Parsons. Listen, everybody knows Debo Samuels wants to be a Cowboy now. We all know that. It's just a question of whether it's going to be this year or next. Do we want him now, or do we want to save him, or wait till he breaks down for his team? Because let's be honest, nobody really wants to be in that locker room. What's going on in that locker room right now? Word on the street is it's one of the worst locker room
Oh, I
environments.
love that line of yours. Word on the street. Word on your street.
Now, word on
Basically,
the street,
like
my friend.
when you're standing on that stoop talking to yourself, that's word on the street. So I'll let you tell it. Keep it going.
Word on the street is there's beef in the San Francisco locker room and nobody wants to be around it. I personally agree. Who wants to be around that? I think crap is the word they were used. Nobody wants to be around that.
Oh, you're throwing the air
crap.
quotes now. You're already doing the air quotes.
Look,
Okay.
man, your quarterback despondent. Your wide receiver hates your guts. Took you off of social media. We thought it was just a ploy to get understanding and
Words of a desperate man. Still obviously salty from the playoffs last year. Grasping at straws, trying to make something out of nothing. You're very transparent. I can see.
Speaking of making something out of nothing, my question to you, sir, is Deshaun Watson going to get on the field this year?
I mean, he will. It just is the suspension going to be. I think it's going to be. 4
Is he going to get suspended? Would be a better question. For
I
me.
think it's going to be 4 games. I think. I mean, it could be as more. I mean, based on what the precedent that's been set by some of the other players, mostly Dallas Cowboys. I think that you could be looking at 6, 7, 8 games, but I think it's going to be 4. You can't ignore. Was it not 23 cases or 23?
23 and counting. I heard
23 claims
this week.
But having said that, no criminal charges.
But they brought it to the grand jury and they said there's not enough evidence.
Yeah, they continue to get thrown out. But again, your boy Zeke, everything was nothing stuck on him, and he still got 6 games. So I think the Cleveland Browns, though, that move that they made, it's a long-term thing. You know, they knew they were going to be facing some friction at the start of 2022, but pardon me, that contract is they're in it for the long haul. So, and quite frankly, with the amount of killers that are in the AFC right now,
yeah,
I don't think Cleveland's going to be that team this year, but they're moving in that direction. I mean, their defense is still legit. They stole Cooper from the Cowboys, so nice ad there for a 5th-round pick. Nice GM work there in Texas.
Okay, we can't even talk about the GM work in Texas. That's crazy. I think the thing about the Browns is Browns are improving again. Didn't they re-sign Clowney? I think Clowney's back, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. But again, like
That's a
look
good
at
move
the
for
rest of the killers though. Look at just the AFC West.
It's
Never
crazy.
mind everyone else.
It is a gunfight at the OK Corral out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see how that all shakes down because you got Lamar in Baltimore, you got Buffalo chomping at the bit.
And all things considered, I think we'll be talking about this a lot next year. Quietly, Kansas City had a very good offseason with the draft and
yeah, I mean everyone's talking about Tyreek Hill skating, and it's like, dude, I just don't see them taking a step back. I mean,
exactly
adding Juju, drafting Sky Moore. You still got Mahomes and Kelsey. That defense is the defense is the big question mark because they retooled, they added some pieces in the draft. How quickly can that unit become what they hope to be elite? That's the question.
This is it.
But again, like I just think that I don't want to call Tyreek Hill a one-trick pony because he wasn't. He's one of the best receivers in the league. But again, it's like the biggest thing that he brought to that offense was being able to take the top off the defense. He stretched the field. I don't see why they can't replicate that. Like they've got Mecole Hardman, they've got all these other weapons. Like Andy Reid's going to put together a plan, and they're going to be there at the end when Kansas City, San Francisco Super Bowl rematch.
Hold on a second.
This is what we're looking at.
Hold on a second.
Don't hold on.
Can we back up? Can we back up?
No, I'm not backing up. We're moving forward.
I thought I heard something. May I approach? Maybe you approach.
You may approach.
Thank you. Kansas City, who in the Super Bowl? Who?
It's a rematch, baby. We're going to get our revenge.
The beautiful thing about the San Francisco 49ers, which I love, especially this offseason, is how quiet everybody is. Because everybody knows the turmoil going. I haven't heard Susie. I haven't heard Alice.
There's no turmoil. I don't know. Like you're hoping and praying. And I guess I understand why we knocked you out of the playoffs.
Pray tell.
It's just
pray about what? What is there to pray about? Pray tell.
No, you're afraid. Like you're upset. Like your fear, your negativity, it's palpable. I just feel bad. I kind of wish you guys beat us.
Speaking about teams improving, I have to say, very scary for me. A team that I think had another really good offseason, because we haven't talked about it that much, is the Philadelphia Eagles picking up A.J. Brown. I think is huge this year. They got a 1-2 combination at wide receiver that's up there in the league right now.
Yeah, but again, I'm still not sold on Hurts, man. I just don't.
Well, this is make or break for him this year, right? I don't think Philly's going to go another year with the weapons that they've acquired.
Oh no, you're right. This is Hurts's. This is his chance.
He's clearly been given the ball.
Yeah, like I mean, I think it needs to be. They have to win at least one playoff game, otherwise they're going to be probably assessing quarterback in the draft next year. If they get into the playoffs and they can win one game at least, I think that's enough to kind of see movement in the right direction, and they'll probably keep everything intact. But again, it's like you got a fully stocked stable of running backs. Dallas Goedert's one of the most up-and-coming tight ends in the game. And like you said, they got one of the best 1-2 punches at wide receiver in the league.
This is true.
I mean, it's not quite Debo and Brandon Ayuk. I mean, these are two future Hall of Famers. But, I mean, who has talent like that?
You're the only person, I think, on planet Earth who knows that name and who actually says that name. And Ayuk is done. Like, he was a bust.
He's so fucking good.
He was a bust. Like, let it
How was he
go.
a bust?
He was a bust. He was a bust. It's like it's never going to work out.
Trey Lance is going to unlock that cheat code, my friend.
Who?
Yeah. Who? Are you a fucking owl? All day long. Your same old jokes.
Mr. Smith, what's going on, Smitty? I see you out there. Okay.
I want to talk fantasy, though, quickly.
Let's talk fantasy.
I want to get into the fantasy
what's going
thing.
on this year in fantasy? I say right away before you start, number one pick out the box this year, You know I go across the grain. I don't do your running back thing because for some reason you think go running back right away. But if Jamar Chase is not your number one player coming in fantasy football this year, I don't know who is.
You would take Jamar Chase first overall.
No, I take a quarterback first overall. If I had first overall, I'm taking a quarterback. That's where we differ, sir.
That's where you differ from everyone.
That's right, because only you believe there's like a limited amount.
And this is why you're struggling to make the playoffs year in and year out.
Are you out of your mind? Relax, sir.
All right, I'll let you take the con here for a minute. I am at work. I'm on the clock. I gotta go and take care of something. I'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, his new name for this year might be the Custodian. Someone's
got to fucking clean the toilets.
No, while the Custodian is gone, I will let you know coming up in this off season. One of the things we're going to do in depth this year is we're going to change the look of the show. So brand new look of the show this year. Also, we're going to delve more into fantasy football this year. Letting you know each week the players to look at. We're going to have a hot list this week of players that played well for the week before, that have momentum, players that you might want to take a look at getting rid of so that you don't hold on to them all season long and hurt your chances of making the playoffs because you held on to a player that you really shouldn't have held on to. One of the things that happens in fantasy football a lot is people tend to get rid of players way before their due date. So one of the things we're going to change this year is letting you know right away who to get on in terms of fantasy. Also, who to get rid of. A lot of people get rid of fantasy players too late. And then you turn around and the next thing you know is your team's missing the playoffs because you held on to somebody too long. Especially and especially in the league, especially quarterbacks. Quarterbacks tend to stay on teams way too long. And we're going to talk about that. Like we're going to get into right now. One of the things that happens with my broadcast partner is he's back. He actually believes and in the way that he drafts his football team. For the last few years, he's very running back early. He believes in getting a running back right away because that's going to make or break your season. I believe there's maybe a bit more, but there's maybe like 4 or 5 running backs a year. And if you're not in your draft top 6, I would not touch running back. But if you're top 6, by all means, go ahead. I'm not going to get mad at you.
But
what's up, cousin? How you doing, Philly?
Let's circle back though. If you're picking first overall, you're taking a quarterback.
If I have the number 1 pick in the draft, I'm guaranteed to go quarterback.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I think the guru title needs to be. Clearly, this man doesn't know what he's doing. My resume speaks for itself. There's rings for every finger. This guy's just every year. He's like, I made the playoffs again, man.
Excuse me, my friend. I'm there every year. Let's not get it twisted.
In your 4-team league.
Okay, so explain to people your
congratulations strategy. On your 4-team league. Like
explain to people your strategy of taking a running back right away, as opposed to me taking a quarterback.
I'm talking about if you have the first overall pick.
If you have the first overall pick, why would you choose a running back?
If you're not taking Jonathan Taylor with the first overall pick this year, you're high. That's the consensus number 1. Now, again, if you're beyond that, it's debatable. If you're in PPR, maybe you can't ignore Cooper Kupp because I don't see him having a regression. He's still going to be a target monster. He's going to be, 110, 120 receptions, 1,600 yards, double-digit touchdowns.
True.
That's a top 5 pick all day. Jamar Chase is up there too. But again, quarterbacks, unless you're in a 2-quarterback league, why would you pick a quarterback first? Why would you take a quarterback in the first round? Like,
my question to you is why would you not?
Josh Allen, Lamar. I mean, Herbert's probably in the conversation now just because he can run the ball. I mean, they're all elite. And so you can wait on these guys. And again, if you're looking at just the total points that you're getting every week, the drop-off from those top 3 or 4 or 5 guys, outside even the top 10, it's not the same amount of disparity as the first to the fifth or sixth running back, or the first or second wideout to like the comparatively the 9th, 10th, 11th wideout. You know what I mean? Like you got to load up on your monsters. You could get a guy like Derek Carr probably in the 7th or 8th round, and he's going to put up legit numbers. But by taking Mahomes or Lamar or one of these other quarterbacks ahead of a Jamar Chase or a Cooper Kupp or Jonathan Taylor or the Great White Hope, CMC, comeback player of the year.
Okay, so your question is, since and you're kind of proving my point a little bit in a little way, because there's only 5 beasts at running back in the league. You're saying if your number 1 pick is there, grab the beast while you can.
I said Jonathan Taylor. He's the one that you're taking number 1.
Okay, but every year you have a number 1 running back, and that's all.
Yeah, exactly. And the year I said McCaffrey, what happened? Not only was he the number 1 guy in the league, he also won me a bottle of Oban. So
why do you?
And by the way, that was the same year that you said no, Zeke's going to be number 1, and we all know how that movie ended. So,
yes, cousin, we're talking fantasy right now. My thing is, I don't mind a running back if you're in the top 6. Like, I wouldn't get mad at you if you drafted a quarterback at number 1. But I think once you
because if you draft a quarterback number 1, you're retarded.
So I didn't mean to say. I meant to say running back. I wouldn't get mad at you. I wouldn't get mad at you. I'm not mad at anybody that drafts a running back at number 1.
I need to get into more leagues with you.
Listen, I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't. But what I'm saying is, even though I wouldn't, I believe if you're in the top 6, you definitely grab a running back because they're not going to be there the next round. Any beast at running back is not going to be. They're not going to be there after the sixth pick. They're gone. So for me,
what do you mean they're gone?
There's only. I'm going to say it again. There's only 4 to 5 running backs in the league all year worth grabbing. If you don't grab them, go do you. Go do you. But if you're not going to get...
Who are those 4 running backs then? Who are those 4? And then there's some massive drop-off. Who are the top 4 running backs?
Najee in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Definitely Taylor. Nick Chubb. And I'm going to go with...
Don't even say
obviously, Zeke Elliott's up there. Let's not get crazy.
So you're saying that Najee, Chubb, Jonathan Taylor, and Zeke are the only 4 running backs worth taking?
Alvin Kamara.
Okay, so those are the only 4. There's nobody else.
You can convince me to take Cook. I wouldn't get mad at if you took Cook.
Okay, so now already we're into 5. There's only 5. Keep going.
I would maybe say this year because he's back HCN. We don't know what's going to go on with him, but I think he'd be a good under the table pick.
Okay. No one else?
If you want to get technical and get a 1-2 combination that's there forever, I wouldn't get mad if you took Tony Pollard. That's just me.
Oh my God. Okay. So again, glaring omissions from this list, like Austin Eckler,
sometimey. Good.
What do you mean sometime?
Don't get me wrong, but he's on the field.
I'm just proving that what your original statement.
Wait a minute.
I'm just proving. No, listen. No, wait.
Was he not hurt?
Calm down.
Is it just me?
Down. I'm just proving you wrong because you just finished saying there's outside of 4 picks, there's no running backs. Now we're up to 7.
I finished my list.
No, what do you mean? You said 4, and now we're at 7.
But wait a minute. We're at 7, right? But if you don't grab one of them by the 6th pick, get out the way, my friend. Get out the way.
So you think it's going to go 6 running backs right off the hop? You're not like what I'm saying is
I'm
by
saying
10,
if you're in the first round of your draft and you don't get one of the running backs that we were talking about by the 7th or 8th pick, scrap running back.
Okay, first of all, now suddenly it's 7th or 8th. First it was top 4 or 5. Now it's at 7 or 8. See, this is what the guru does. He changes.
Things in life change, my friend. We all change.
This is kind of like, I'll get that next $50 to you by the end of May. And then suddenly it's fucking June and the debt's going the other direction because as soon as Debo suits up for the Niners.
Let's stay on point, sir. Let's stay on
point.
No.
We're staying on point. We're getting on point because Midnight Collections is calling.
Is that how we're doing this? Running backs. So
you're acting like Midnight Collections is not on your fucking dick. Come on.
So my question to you is, so you're 100% if you have one of those names to grab a running back with your first pick. Is that your contention?
No, not at all.
Only
All
with
I
the
said
number
was
one.
the first overall pick.
So we're only talking about number one pick right now.
Yeah. So I'm saying even if you're picking at 12, like you could still land back-to-back 2 stud running backs. Like, because there's going to be guys that go after all those top-end wide receivers. All those running backs, like we just listed 7, and there's more of them. But by the end of that first round, like that's why I don't like having the first 2 or 3 picks, because by the time it comes back around, it's too long.
Everybody's gone. Yeah.
If you're picking 10, 11, 12, you're right in that pocket where you're going to get 2 stuff. Case in point, last year in 2 of my redraft leagues, I was picking 12. And the same fucking 2 guys I got in both leagues, Austin Eckler and Jonathan Taylor, at 12 and 13.
But
this year, it's going to be.
That's because whoever's drafting before you had no idea how to draft. There's no way those players should have went that
Anyone
long.
can look up the fucking draft list from last year. They were listed outside the top 10, both of those guys.
Well, obviously, the people that you play with don't know the game that much. If they did, there's no way those 2 players go that late. But what I will say about that,
exactly, another classic guru moment. Hindsight, always looking back. But again, look at the list from last season. And again, this year is going to be the same thing. People are going to be creating their list, their top 50, top 100, top 200, whatever. And there's going to be names at 12, 13, 14, 15, which at the end of the year, it's going to be like, how the fuck did you land those guys? And I think a couple of them might be rookies, because Breece Hall, I'm not totally sold on the Jets yet, but this guy's the consensus number 1 rookie pick. But I think he could be one of these guys that you can land in the 2nd or 3rd round, and he could be a league winner for you, because
I think there's a couple of guys on the Jets that could be elite with the way they drafted this year. That's a team that we're going to talk about coming up to the year.
How do you feel about Zach Wilson, though? That's the question.
I know you're not a fan, and I don't know why you're not a fan. But like I said,
look what he did last year.
But they threw the Wolves with nothing. You had to expect that last year.
He didn't have nothing. He had players. Fair enough. Rookie quarterbacks have a tough time, but some rookie quarterbacks step up and just fucking go off. So I don't know. There's something about him. I don't know. I think he.
I know you don't like it, but I think he's going to thrive this year.
Well, he's got no excuses now. He has no excuses now because he's got the weapons.
None. Jalen Hurts, him, no excuses. None.
Yeah.
One of the things that happens too when you have that combination of, let's say you pick 12 and you got 12 and 13 coming up right away, is something that I like to do, and I call it the 1-2 combination, where you can maybe pick up a quarterback and his number 1 receiver, so you can get the Aaron Rodgers. And
wait! I thought your 1-2 combination was like a fillet of fish and a Big Mac. It's changed. Sorry. Okay, get back on point. Wow. I just remember you talking about 1-2 combos, and that was your thing when we had our show before.
Anywhere near done.
Yeah, I'm
done. So for me, in the real world, that's what I say. Like you can pick up, like, if Burrows is there, maybe you pick up Burrows and Chase. Maybe you pick up Dak.
I'd like to point out that his name's not Burrows, but
Burrow, whatever.
Keep going, Guru.
Whatever.
You're nailing it as usual.
Burrow. You can pick up
Dak Prescott.
You pick up Dak and CD.
I like Dak Prescott's this year. Maybe Trey Lance's. maybe I like Trey Lance's.
By the way, before the season even starts, before the draft show even starts, anybody listening to me right now, don't draft Trey Lance. No matter what this man beside me tells you, don't draft him. Save your pick. There's no reason to grab him.
Don't draft him. Save him for Sanchez. We'll pick him up late.
Guarantee you wouldn't do it.
And ride him all the way to
Guarantee you wouldn't. Guarantee you would not draft that man. Guaranteed.
I'm trying to get him in my dynasty right now. Okay, here's a trade for you. I offered Mac Jones, Hunter Renfrow, and a 2nd-round pick for Trey Lance. For Trey Lance. Oh, and I wanted one of his bum wide receivers back just to fill the roster. I think I asked for Will Fuller, but really he turned it down. He just fucking
Renfro's the pick in that trade, but Mac Jones, I wouldn't touch him either.
Because Trey Lance is the future.
No,
that's why that trade is no good for him.
Trey Lance is, oh my god.
Trey Lance is
I hate to say this to you, but everybody in Frisco that's expecting the world from this guy is so. Jimmy G's your quarterback by week 6. If he's still there.
He's not.
There's no way you're riding out the whole season.
Jimmy G is gone by the beginning of July. As soon as he starts throwing the ball and he proves that he's healthy, someone's going to pick him up.
My cousin in Philly just said it. I wouldn't draft Trey Lance if my life depended on it.
Yeah, exactly, because he's Philly. Doesn't know what he's talking about.
No,
It's like-
he's in Philly. He's a Cowboy.
Yeah, exactly. I know, exactly. I know who we're talking about. Blade again?
No. We're talking about Jerome. But here's
Oh,
the
okay.
thing. Cousin Jerome.
Cousin
But-
Jerome
Cousin Jerome.
also doesn't know very much about football, but I digress. The bottom line is
Why are you so convinced Trey Lance is going to do this?
because
You're the only one on planet Earth.
all right, you know what? I'm not going to defend it anymore. We're just going to we'll save this footage as we do, and I'll wind it back. We'll see.
But when I do it, I want to hear your story now. When I do it, I want to hear your.
I hope you.
story
I
now.
hope you.
I never
hope you
said
do.
it. I never said it like that.
No, I'll put my name. No, I'll put my name on it right now.
Right away. Trey Lance, top 10 quarterback in the league this year. Yes or no?
Top 5.
Please get the right one.
Top 5, baby. No, I didn't specify which kind of top 5.
Thank you. Thank you. This dude is delusional.
That's a veteran move right there.
Okay, you've been called delusional, and I can't wait to grind him.
I've been
Yeah,
exactly. He would want to
lack of
grind me.
knowledge.
He would want to grind me. Sounds like a grinder. A Philly guy who's a fucking Cowboys fan. Get out of here.
All day, baby.
Talk about confused.
It's in the
And,
family.
and
Only
I'm,
the good
and
ones
I'm
in the
dealing with a
family wrote
Cowboy fan who just satellites from East Coast to West Coast back to East Coast. Can't figure himself out.
If you know ball, why would you not be a Cowboy fan? Are you crazy? What are we talking about right now?
Who knocked the
Right.
Cowboys out last year again?
Can't remember. That's old shit.
Exactly. It's old shit. It's old shit.
I don't remember. I move ahead in life. I don't look back there. Whatever's back there, I left it back there.
Oh,
Kinda
kind of like
you.
just like your creditors. Just left them back there.
Left it
Who
back
cares
there.
about those guys?
Hello?
Doesn't matter.
Hello?
Exactly.
Hello?
Yeah.
Nobody here at the end. What are the teams or what are the players that you think are going to stand out this year? Can we admit that Jamar Chase is a perennial pick in this league? I think he's the real deal.
Yeah, and you know what? I was one of the ones that at that draft, I was so convinced that they should have gone offensive line.
Yeah.
I wanted them to take Penny Sewell. I thought that was and when they took Chase, it was like,
But
understood.
I knew, like you have your college kid. Like I knew safety blanket.
It all made sense because of the chemistry, but I was just like, you got T. Higgins, you got Tyler Boyd. You don't need to add another wide receiver to that room when you have this glaring need on the offensive line. And I couldn't have been more wrong because that was a fantastic pick. The combination of that, what they did was in their rookie year or his rookie year. Think about what those two guys are going to do moving forward. Once
That's what I'm saying.
they start figuring out the nuances of the league, they start for everything that Jamar Chase did good last year, there's still room for improvement.
And he did a lot of good.
How he's going to run his routes, how he's going to be able to read defenses, just becoming a more polished professional. He's a fucking Hall of Famer, man. If he stays healthy,
I think so too.
he's that good. And the fact that they're the same age and it goes back to the LSU days, as a football fan, that just gets me excited. It's the same thing with Lamar Jackson. I'm not a Baltimore guy, but he's one of the most fun, best player to watch since Mike Vick. You know what I mean?
Does anybody else stand out to you this season? Do you think they either maintain or maybe drop off?
I'm really curious to see what Tampa Bay does because I'm fascinated with Tom Brady. I don't know how.
Is this the year that Mother Nature catches up to him?
No, because
Really?
I said that Father Time was going to fucking clip his nuts 5 years ago.
Yeah.
What does he do? He just throws for another 5,000 yards.
Wins another chip. Go figure.
So Tom Brady just does Tom Brady things, and I'll say that Father Time got him once he decides to fucking retire. As long as he's playing, and he has the weapons like fucking Evans and Goodwin and Fournette, and he's got a fucking legitimate defense behind him, you can never write that team off. So I'm curious to see what they do. I think they'll be right there at the end of the season, barring injury. Green Bay's another team that just
Are they going to make up for that loss?
it's going to be a tough one because they ran into a buzzsaw last year in the playoffs. It was a heart-wrenching defeat to a fantastic team. And I don't know how you recover from that kind of stuff.
Let's try and look forward, sir.
Clearly, the teams in Texas couldn't do it, but Wisconsin, they're harder people. They're stronger. They're more.
Says the man who got ousted. Like, can we stick to the game plan here, sir? Can we stick to the game plan? I don't understand this, man.
You okay?
He's talking like you want a chip. Like, can we move forward, sir? Cousin Jerome says it too. Philly won't be the same. I'm sorry, Green Bay won't be the same. I don't think Green Bay is going to be the same too. They had a big loss on defense as well. I mean,
no, but they stocked up on defense too. Like they added.
That's what I was going to say though. That's where they went.
There's that commitment, and I don't think they're done in terms of free agency. I think there's like on paper, I don't see why they're not just grabbing Julio on the cheap.
Yeah,
why not? You know what I mean? You just drafted Christian Watson. Like, who better to fucking show him the ropes as a professional than Julio Jones, right?
And who better to pair with Aaron Rodgers than Julio Jones, really?
Yeah, I mean, who's the rest of that wide receiver room? Lazard, Cobb.
Lazard, who you love. You say his name every 2 minutes. You love Lazard.
Well, because if you say it quick, it's almost like Izzard. It's like Lizard. Lizard is Izzard. It's close. It just reminds me of someone I know.
Anywhere near done, like anywhere close.
What? You knew I was going to go there.
That's who I was going to say. Normally, draft-wise, Aaron Rodgers is my number one go-to. I love him, but not this year. I don't think I'm looking at him.
But why though? Like, I mean, again, you lose Devontae, but here's the guy who just back-to-back MVP seasons. I mean, with all the shit floating around last year, all the distractions.
These are facts, but I think what's going to catch
all he did was win another MVP. So
it's hard for me to say it's going to catch up because they did pay him all that money, but he's I just find him very moody. He's very emotional. Like he's a very emotional guy. So if things go sour for him at the beginning of the year, I don't know if he's going to bounce back. I don't know if he's going to, that because we all seen it. We all seen it when he plays. Like when he's down on himself, he's down. He's not the same player.
Yeah, but what does he do though? He fucking, and again, I'm not a Green Bay guy, but at the end of the day, as long as he's not running into those 49ers, he's a fucking champ. So I think they're gonna. All jokes aside, I think they're gonna be chomping at the bit to get back. But again, I think they need to make a couple moves with some of those guys in free agency. I thought that Landry would have been a good fit there.
You said,
Sammy Watkins might end up being one of the best, sneakiest under the radar signings of the year, right? Because if he's healthy,
yeah,
and again, like we talked about, you're not going to replace Devontae's production in one player, but you can replace it in the aggregate. You know what I mean? You can take Cobb, Lazard, Watson, and potentially one other free agent guy, and Rodgers still will pass for the same amount of yards and the same kind of touchdowns. So, and again,
very good word though with the aggregate.
We're talking.
I'm impressed with aggregate. Very good word. Go ahead, sir.
It's a white word.
Very white.
Running backs might be the best combo in the league, though, right? Jones and A.J. Dillon, that's thunder and lightning all day long.
And he uses them. It's not like he just doesn't use them; he actually uses them.
Yeah, and not just like pounding the rock in between the tackles. Like both those guys catch passes.
Yeah,
both of them can block. So,
they're no Zeke and Pollard, but they're there. They're there.
You should just stop saying Zeke. Just say Pollard. He's the only running back you got on that roster. Like,
I'll tell you one thing. That's true after this year. Bye, Zeke. That's true after this year. I think after taking it on the chin last year, I am sold. I am betting the farm on Josh Allen this year. If he's around me, I'm grabbing him right away. Because after that AFC Championship game, he made me a believer. And I think if he took it on the chin and he's really mad about last year, he is going to dominate the league this year.
Yeah, and I mean, that team only got better. I mean, facts. I really think that,
Von Miller talking about that. The number one defense just picked up Von Miller.
Yeah, and I mean, no one's talking about James Cook. This is Dalvin's little brother.
Yeah.
I don't want to try and hold him in that same. I mean,
but let's look at it too. The Buffalo Bills got the number one running back in the draft this year. Nobody. Number one.
Breece Hall was the number one running back in the draft. What are you talking about? Come on.
I don't believe it though. I don't look at him as a number one.
anyways, I think that they're going to approach their running back room in much of the way that some of it's the 49ers method where you have 19 running backs and you just cycle.
Yeah, true.
It is, right? Like
it is.
And with Singletary and Cook and Moss, I mean, that's a fucking three-headed monster, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about one guy goes down, next man up kind of mentality. Dawson Knox is he's one of the up-and-coming tight ends in the league.
And he really showed up last year. Like,
yeah,
he really...
I think he scored a lot of clutch touchdowns, but I think he needs to be more
consistent.
Yeah, he needs to get more targets. So, again, Allen's going to fucking move that. Gabriel Davis had a fucking coming-out party in the playoffs. He still got gigs.
And with the loss of Cole Beasley, Knox jumps up now. Knox jumps up. He becomes a slot guy now.
Yeah, so... Buffalo's going to be, but again, these are all the usual suspects. Who's kind of off the radar that could make some noise this year?
Believe it or not, I'm going to say the Chargers, because I
don't think that's a sneaky pick though.
It's got to be a sneaky pick. Listen, he hasn't made the playoffs yet, so you can't say he's a perennial playoff quarterback. Like he hasn't made that leap yet. So I think this is the year he
they basically would have made the playoffs.
Okay, I'll give you a real one then.
If they took the air out of the ball. And
exactly. But I'll give you a real one. Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson going over there is
But the only problem with the Denver Broncos is they're in the same division as the Raiders, the Chiefs, and the Chargers, man. Like, that's fucking murderer's row.
Murderer's row. There's no two ways around that. If you're a fan of the AFC West and any team in that division, you don't sleep well this year. You do not go to bed well at all this year.
Yeah.
You go to bed like a junkie, looking over your shoulder every day.
What about Jacksonville? Can they get out of their own way?
There's another team. Yeah, I think they can. They're gonna have it like, come on. Their running game may be thunder and thunder instead of thunder and lightning. It may be thunder.
Apparently, fucking James Robinson was running. He's already.
That's what I'm saying.
And then during OTAs, so
and then Lawrence has shown signs that he's ready to wake up and do this thing.
Yeah,
they picked up a beast receiver.
Big question mark is the wide receiver. They spent.
That's it.
100, 200. I don't know how many millions of dollars on their wide receiver room, and it's kind of still like Christian Kirk for 120 million or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
But
maybe
who knows, right?
We don't know.
Yeah.
Like maybe they do like their wide receivers the way Dan Quinn does our defense. Like just beast after beast after beast. I mean, it was said today, Tank Lawrence said, I'm looking for 10 or more sacks because I let a rookie, outshine me last year. And then Micah says, well, if he's a 10 guy, I'm going for 20. That's just what I do. That's how we do.
I know that's what he does. And then they get the playoffs and then Jimmy G knocks him out. What?
Please don't do that. Please don't ever do that again.
What? Jimmy G took your fucking beast after beast after beast and then pet. And he's the second best quarterback on my team.
Oh my God. You are full in with Lance, and I'm gonna love this season. Because you're gonna blame the fact that it's technically his first year. You're gonna blame the fact that he doesn't really have a solid running game. Okay,
what do you mean he doesn't have a solid running game?
Debo's not there.
What a bunch of killers, man. Killers.
He didn't show up because Debo's not there and Debo's not playing.
Debo will be there. And Kittle.
That bet that I made with you.
And future gold jacket owner Brandon Ayuk.
Who was your other pick like that? Yeah. He's the David Johnson for the San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh, David Johnson. Where's he going to land? Probably in Hamilton. I think that ship is officially sailed.
Feel me. But you gave him a yellow jacket from day one.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Brandon Ayuk
you know what? He would have had that gold jacket if it wasn't for Houston. Houston just didn't deploy him properly, and they sapped him of his golden years. I just feel bad. I feel bad for him.
Not the 87 injuries he had. It's Houston's fault. Same with Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk, in your mind, has a gold jacket. That's the sound.
I just want to point out that Brandon Ayuk just tore apart your defense in that.
No, he
card.
didn't. He burnt Trey Diggs once, and all of a sudden they put him on every poster and every replay in Frisco for
But
the
Diggs
next
was
4
supposed
years.
to be like your
Calm down.
savior, your messiah, like the best of the best of the.
He is.
And he is, but that's what happens when he runs into Brandon Ayuk. Like he gets regulated. Orgy.
I don't know how you sleep at night. I really don't know how you sleep at night. Who's your duds? Who are the teams that are falling off this year?
Well, Seahawks got to be on that list. No, I mean,
I think they have to be. Well, and quiet as it's kept, and nobody wants to say it out loud. I think you really, really got to pay attention to the Cardinals maybe taking a dip if D-Hop doesn't come back strong, because for some reason there's a lot of problems in that locker room as well. Like, I don't know what's going on.
But that locker room, the big thing is
it's Kyler Murray.
It's the uncertainty with Kyler. Like, if you don't have your general ready to go, set to lead the team, happy with his contract, I mean,
shout out to my man Nick.
So, personally though, I still think that they're going to figure things out. I think they're going to give him the extension that he wants. It's probably not going to be to the dollar amount that that's being talked about, but he's going to get a fat extension because they're in win now mode. Like they got a bunch of killers over there. That's a good team.
Yeah.
It only works if they've got Kyler Murray leading that offense. So you're right. If they don't get that sorted out, and if D-Hop's not healthy, which, you know what, I hate to say it, but he might be in that Julio category, right? Where the body's falling apart and he can't. And it happens.
It falls apart fast, right?
It's not quick, right? Like 1 minute you're one of those top 5 names at wide receiver or any position, and then all of a sudden. So
I think at the beginning of this year too, we're gonna pick a team that is outside the box that we think is gonna make noise. And one of those teams I think is gonna make noise, and we'll take one to drop off because as quiet as it's kept. I think a team that's going to make noise is the Raiders. I think that addition that they picked up.
Additions. They had a few. Like everyone's talking about Devontae, but let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. Like
that's scary. That's scary.
Like I'm just really excited to watch all things AFC West this year.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think the tickets to the Week 17 San Francisco Raider game have been locked in. If you can get your and this goes out to everybody.
So you're on your way there now. You got it locked in.
Fuck yeah! Good? I got fucking me
and it's New Year's Eve, isn't it?
New Year's Day. So we're gonna be in Vegas for New Year's Eve. I've never done Vegas New Year's Eve, man. That's a loaded gun. But
are you actually gonna make it back? Is the question. We're gonna have to give you a remote camera, or if I don't end up there.
But I'm throwing it out there. Alistair, Susie, Big Brown. Oh shit, I think Big Brown's coming.
Is he really?
Oh fuck yeah, man!
I may have to.
I think Jesse Wills is on board for that.
No, yeah. You know what?
I think you gotta.
I think I gotta think about it.
I think you gotta save up those Serb checks.
Yeah, I think I gotta think about it. Think about it.
You know what I mean? It's
gonna be one to remember.
And there's going to be playoff implications with that game, and it just so all of you out there.
I think somehow we're gonna have to make that happen, though. If I think about it, I think I'm gonna have to make that happen.
Well, I got a couple of my Raider fans.
Call my brother in the States, and me and my brother in the States. I think we're gonna have to make that trip because we need a brother's trip anyway. So I think I'm gonna have to call my brother in the States. I think we're gonna have to make that trip.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that. I mean, right now things are trending up in terms of border crossing and COVID and
on the west side, not out here.
Blah blah
not
blah.
Out here. We're dealing with monkeypox out here now.
Monkeypox. Like, give me a break. Like they just come. Like as soon as one thing dies down, then they create this new thing, and it's only a matter of time before.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You better get your monkeypox vaccine. You better get your monkeypox booster.
Do you have the round immunization stamp on your arm? Do you have that, or is that just my generation?
No, I never got that.
Okay, so because I got that, I think we are immunized against monkeypox in that. So our generation's kind of cool with that. Not
So
that I
monkey-
want to go get monkeypox.
So
don't get me
monkeypox
wrong.
was a thing back in the fucking 40s.
Yeah, and they eradicated it, and now it's making its remix.
Yeah, what a coincidence! Like, just
Mm.
anyways, let's not get into that. We'll do a whole other show on conspiracy-related vaccines and.
Okay, so
fucking
everybody out there, here's the
influenzas.
thing: we are changing the look of the show, and we're changing what we're gonna do this year. We're gonna have hot takes every week, so players to look out for and watch out for, players to get rid of, and we're not gonna wait till week 3 like we normally do to see what's going on. We're gonna start right away because we don't want everybody missing their playoffs because you waited too long to get rid of somebody. But we're gonna tell you the hot players are gonna have hot takes. We'll have Guru's corner, we'll have Sanchez's corner, letting you know.
Follow the Sanchez corner. It's much better information over there, that part of the room. Just saying.
And hopefully, I'm hoping, don't listen to this one here. We're going live again on Monday nights. So Monday nights are going to be live again. I'm just looking for a venue in Montreal, but I'm that close to getting one. And
I think I'll probably do a mishmash of different places. I like doing it from different bars and pubs. The Milltown.
Yeah, so we're going to do live via satellite with this idiot from whatever
And
bar.
then I think at least once this year, I'm going to try and zoom out to Montreal, and we could do actually a live show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, finally do it. I like do it for real.
Yeah,
and I
gotta catch up with Ryan Weeks. I gotta catch up with fucking Susan. By the way, talk about Ryan Weeks for a second. We're talking about teams that could come out of the woodwork and surprise you. No one's talking about the Minnesota Vikings.
They're not, and for good reason. But they're not.
No, not for you. I think that's a legitimate team this year. I think the Vikings are fucking.
Wait a minute. I'm going to agree with you. I think we're going to steal Barr from them. I have a feeling he's coming to Dallas. But I will say this: we freed up $10 million in cap space. No reason why he can't come. Maybe
Doors closed, boys. Yeah.
The custodian, ladies and gentlemen.
If you guys are golfing, you got to come down to the pro shop.
Rob him.
See, this is the thing. I thought I was going to be out here at fucking 5 o'clock today. It was raining all day. Like,
but your people will play golf in the rain.
And then all of a sudden it got sunny. And then these.
Oh, did it?
Oh, dude, it's beautiful. And now, that's these guys. A couple Irishmen, a couple potato eaters. Hey, come on for a couple. Can't you get 9 holes in, lad? Like, this is the shit that I got to go and fucking him, mother.
I'm going to tell you now, kids. Seeing him leave just now, best part of the show. Best part of the show. And let me get this camera back on. Hold on. Here we go. All right, camera's back on. While the idiot's gone, I'm going to take this time to thank everybody for joining us. He ruined the show like he always does, leaving for no reason. So that's it for us tonight. We'll be back probably at some point next week as well. As always, you know who I am. I am your board-certified fantasy football and all sports guru. And this is Brothers Talk Ball. What I am going to do, though, is if I don't go to black, if I go to black, I'm just going to cut it off. If I don't go to black when he gets back, as soon as he sits down, we're out of here. Nobody wants to listen to him anymore because this is what you get from him. Sitting down, giving you the show that you need because you come to love and enjoy, and he just runs away to give a couple of Irishmen a tea and a little book that they scribble in. We know they're going to cheat anyway. By the way, we're going to find out how good his golf game is as well. All right, we went to black. All right, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is me, your board-certified fantasy football guru, coming to you. We're out.